Today we'll be installing the Joe Florida 72 LED multicolor multifunction remote kit. It's effectively a 216 LED kit in that while he labels it 72, there's 72 clusters, each of 3. He has upgraded this kit to a 90 cluster kit, so effectively 270 LEDs. This is generally a motorcycle kit. We did pick it because of the modular ends, and you'll see those in the other video where I unpack the goods. We'll be installing that kit today on a snowmobile, however. So that kit will be the Stowable Engine Kit. This is a 2005 Skidoo GTX. There are vents here in the top of the doors. On this side, there's vents here, a vent in the front, and then we'll also be doing these wells. So we're trying to get some glow down on the ground and lighting up the ground in front of the sled. This particular kit doesn't reach the back of the sled. Obviously, it's designed for the compactness of a motorcycle, but we may eventually in the future add a different kit to the back to glow the whole sled. So real quick, let me open up the panels and show you kind of what we're dealing with today. A snowmobile is a very tight engine compartment, unlike a motorcycle, which has really, it's fully enclosed with just your drive coming off and your Y pipes in the bottom. The snowmobile has everything in the engine bay. It has your drivetrain, your exhaust, your brake, everything's in the engine bay. So it might be a little tricky today to move some stuff around, but we should be able to do it within an hour or so. Of course, this video will be snippets of that cut into about 10 minutes. So here we have the engine bay. And this is an exhaust. We have a battery. We've taken a Deltran battery tender and has positive and negative and comes to quick disconnects. So we can disconnect the system fully if we want. We're going to zip tie it in, no permanent attachments. And this wire has an extension which comes up, and we'll be mounting the remote box right here. And so the extension we've clipped, and this is what we'll solder. We essentially have 3 solders to do today and shrink wrap, and then otherwise the kit's fully modular, plug and play. The engine bay has a full exhaust, and if we bring the camera up, Okay, so here we are. Skidoo GTX 2005. I'll do a brief little walk around. First with the lights on. And then again, we'll turn the lights off. And we'll do another walk around. Of course, tonight it'll be a lot brighter, because while it is a little dark in here, it is daytime. You'll see though we're getting a pretty good glow on the floor. Of course, on snow, which is white, it'll be quite a bit brighter on the ground. My garage is a little dirty here, so of course on the light side you can't see quite as much. Doesn't look bad right there, does it? And then of course we got the front. Not bad. In total, doing everything right. I used Deltran ends, rings. I used Deltran extension. I only had 3 solder locations. And of course this particular kit, and the nice thing about it, and why I chose it, is because I'm not an installer. I don't even do this stuff for the most part. My daughter really wanted a light kit. And the modular ends of this particular kit, one, allowed me to put things together very easily, but it also allows me to take things apart very easily. So there's a couple places in the engine bay where you saw that have very tight spaces, and I have to be able to move stuff out of the way if a belt breaks or be able to get to spark plugs. and the modular ends let me disconnect everything and then put it back together. If I had to solder all the ends, I would have locked myself into not being able to get some things out of the snowmobile. And I will show these again later tonight when it's dark. And I'll record this again in the winter when on snow. Thank you very much. Joe Florida's 72 cluster, 216 LED. Or again, now he's upgraded it, so it's a 90 cluster and 270 LED. Multi-remote, multi-function light kit. Check it out. So, welcome back to the garage. The light kit's all installed. I showed you all the steps and the compartment and everything that went together. This is the finished product in the garage light at night. There's no obvious signs that it's been modified and the LED kit has been installed. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to turn off the lights and we'll run through the cycle, and like this I'll walk back and forth. Wasn't too bad. The kit went in exceptionally well. I have to say, getting the snap clips, the Molex type clips, made it pretty much idiot proof. The issue was the snowmobile compartment does take a lot of routing, and the extra long wires and the length of the wires that came with this kit made it all possible. You know, if I had to solder each of the ends, it would have been an impossibility, and I wouldn't have been able to do it. So the length of the equipment that comes with this particular kit, the Joe Florida multi-remote kit, and the extensions and lengths and snap clips made it possible. I know now that I won't want to do one for my friends or my brother if it has all solder ends. So let's turn out the lights and see how it looks. Alright, and here we go. Of course, it's going to be a little grainy. This is an older camera and it is dark. We'll go through the colors really briefly, and I'll move back and forth so you can kind of see the shock wells and the engine compartment. This is some flashing and blinking effects. This is a strobe with fade. It's getting good effect on the ground. My garage floor is a little dirty, so it's not reflecting like it's going to do in the snow. And it is interesting, where the engine compartment is more full, there's actually more light reflecting off the LEDs and coming out. So down at the bottom of the hood here, it looks like on the what would be the sled's left side, our stage right, it looks like a little fang, but it's really just the fact that the muffler doesn't reflect in that particular area. So this remote, you have an on and off button, and then you have an effect button, and you can hold a solid color. In this case my sled is blue, so we'll probably have it on blue most of the time. Or you can strobe through, you can get through to effects. And then once you have it on an effect, you just leave it, and it will continuously loop that effect. The fade one's pretty good. So, there we go. And blue. Joe Florida. It was a 72 LED cluster. It's now the 90 LED cluster. And this is on a Skidoo 2005 Skidoo GTX.